What is going on behind the eyes of the narcissist? Narcissists don't think like most people. Narcissists have a distinct thinking pattern that sets them apart from most people. Understanding their mindset can help you navigate interactions with them. Today I'm going to highlight 5 common thinking patterns of narcissists and share 4 critical actions to take when you see these thinking patterns. Let's get into it. Narcissist thinking pattern 1, it's all about me. This might not be obvious in your initial interaction with the narcissist, but eventually they will show you how they think. The all about me thinking pattern shows up because narcissists firmly believe they are superior. They see themselves as unmatched in politics, intelligence, looks, or wealth. Their thoughts revolve around maintaining this self-image and the need to reinforce their narrative of superiority. They relentlessly seek attention, support, and admiration to validate their perceived greatness. Sadly, insecurity underlies this need for affirmation. And they fear being exposed as having low confidence and being unlovable. I know it's sad when you see how hurt they are. You can spot this thinking pattern when you see one of 3 things. First, you can notice them dominating conversations. They find a way to turn it back to them and to take more airtime speaking. Second, they tell you about their opinions and how superior they are to them. And third, they tend to make subtle digs at you to establish their superiority. It might sound playful at first, but if you watch closely, you'll see that they seem motivated to feel superior to you. Okay, on to the next thinking pattern. The second narcissistic thinking pattern, there is only black and white. Narcissists don't like nuances and subtleties. Gray areas are unacceptable to narcissists. They simplify their opinions and stick to them rigidly. They divide the world into winners, themselves, and losers. Even when they lose, they twist the narrative to maintain their self-perception as winners. How can you notice that someone is thinking like this? 2 things to watch for. First, they show disdain for people who do see gray areas. They won't want to engage with you in analyzing pros and cons because that's not their world. Second, they will listen only to their narratives that reinforce their image about themselves and the world. Eventually, people show you who they are, even if they are covert narcissists. So what, listen and know that you're dealing with someone who lives life from a narcissistic viewpoint. Stick around until the end and I'll share 4 critical actions you need to do to navigate someone who thinks like a narcissist. But first, let's unwrap the next thought pattern. Narcissistic thought pattern number 3. You are with me or against me. I was married to a narcissist who had a long list of people she hated. What I found even more disturbing was how she also needed me to hate them. Stepping back a bit, narcissists judge people based on their ability to serve their needs, attention, admiration, and confirmation. To them, you are nothing more or less than your ability to serve their needs. That is why they surround themselves with flying monkeys, people who echo their views and act on their behalf. And that's why those with different opinions are labeled as enemies and losers. And this is why narcissists create smear campaigns against those who aren't with them or don't hate the people they hate. Yikes. Share in the comments your experience with narcissists who smeared you because you didn't hate their enemies enough. That brings us to the next thought pattern. Narcissistic thought pattern number 4. I am right and am above criticism. Narcissists are delusional in their perception of events. Objective truth doesn't matter. What does matter is the narrative they create to meet their needs for innocence, superiority, and respect. This gets serious when you try to give them feedback. Good luck with that. Narcissists cannot handle criticism or negative feedback. If you are their supervisor and you are trying to help them correct a behavior, they will resist you in any way they can. If you are in a relationship with one, watch for anger and aggression. They have no interest in self-improvement, only feeding the narrative that paints them as superior yet a victim. When criticized, narcissists will attack you, blame others, gaslight, or do anything other than take responsibility and grow. When you see this play out, be careful because narcissists will defend their false image in ways that may put you in danger. When you see significant resistance to any feedback, carefully review your options. If they work for you, let them go. If you're dating or married to one, this isn't likely to get better. At the end of the video, I'll unwrap 4 actions you take to protect yourself from a narcissist. But first, the final thought pattern. Narcissistic thought pattern number 5. I am powerful. I was in a relationship with a narcissist who thought she had the power to control the weather, yet somehow couldn't get a job. Sound familiar? Share your experience in the comments. Her delusional relationship with personal power ranged from entertaining to dangerous. For example, she took credit for the rain after it happened. "Jesus and I made this happen," she would tell me. Okay, good for you. She became angry when I asked her to predict tomorrow's weather. Wink. But when she believed that God had told her to tell me to do something that harmed me financially and emotionally or allowed her more control, that was dangerous. In my case, she said God told her not to work and that her children needed significant financial resources for their special mission in life. Since we were a step family, this meant fewer time and money resources for my children and a significant strain on me to support her children. Like cult leaders, the God-said claim was meant to feed her needs while taking from others. In this case, her only power was me believing her and giving her what she requested. I didn't, and it served to end a bad relationship. Let's shift now to the 4 key actions you must take when you see the signs of narcissism in a friend, partner, employee, or really anyone in your life. First, don't label them or tell them what you see. Remember what we said about their openness to feedback? Yes, that. Don't. Instead, do the second key action, and that's starting to disengage. Stop giving them your time, money, or attention if possible. You might be married to one, so disengaging is more complicated. Third, focus on strengthening your personal power and sovereignty. Narcissists love people with weak boundaries. Fix that. Narcissists love people who struggle with self-love. Learn to love yourself enough to manage boundaries. Take time to learn about the ways you might have allowed the narcissist to control you and grow. And finally, begin to interact with the narcissist in gray rock mode. That means that you aren't angry, submissive, or anything other than factual and focused on your reasonable outcomes. If your ex is a narcissist, that means that you communicate facts and reiterate that your goal is to reduce drama for the sake of the children if you have joint custody or an outcome that is meaningful to you. In other words, you shift to all business and sweep aside everything else. They will try to trigger you, but if you stay gray rock, you win. Narcissists will use any display of intense emotions to blame and shame you, so stay as neutral as you can in interacting with them. In summary, narcissists have created a distorted inner world that makes them dangerous friends and partners. Dealing with narcissists requires careful navigation. As you learn to disengage from their control games while becoming a stronger version of you, you'll stay healthy and will thrive in better relationships. Thanks for joining us today at the Change Capability Institute.